Hey Calculus, we are going to go over the power rule and antiderivatives, undoing the power rule. So the first step in the power rule is you take the exponent and you multiply it by the coefficient. It looks like this. The exponent, negative 83, times the coefficient, 007. The t comes down. The second thing you do is you subtract 1 from that exponent. It looks like this, negative 83 minus 1. Now when you simplify it, negative 83 times 0.007, that's a fun one. You get negative 0.581 t to the negative 84. And there you go, there's the power rule. Much quicker than using that big long definition. Number 2, we just use the power rule on all 4 terms. The first term, this is a 1 out in front of the x, so you multiply the 2.3 times the 1 and get 2.3. The x comes down. When you take 2.3 minus 1, you get 1.3. Now we keep going the second term. Negative 2 times 5 gives you negative 10x. Negative 2 minus 1 gives you negative 3. We keep going. The exponent here, even though it's not written, is a 1, 100x to the first. So 1 times negative 100 is negative 100x. When you take 1 minus 1, you get 0. All right, now, anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. So that gives us negative 100 times 1, which is negative 100. Okay, let's go to the last term. The number here by itself, 4. A number, a constant, is the same as that constant, that number, times x to the 0. Because again, this is 1. But if you can kind of visualize that or write it in, it helps you use the power rule. 0 times 4 gives me 0. So plus 0x, and then 0 minus 1 gives me negative 1. But we know 0 times anything gives me plus 0. So the derivative of any constant is 0. All right, so our derivative is, this is part of it, 2.3 x to the 1.3. This is also part of it, negative 10x to the negative third, and then we have negative 100. There you go, there's the derivative. Number 3, easy peasy, just one term. 3 times 5 gives me 15x. 3 minus 1 gives me 2, 15x squared. Number 4, this is a 1 out front, don't forget. So 4 times 1 gives me 4t. 4 minus 1 gives me 3, 4t to the third. Second term, 2 times 6 gives me a negative 12t. 2 minus 1 gives me 1, 12t to the first. And again, the derivative of any number is just plus 0. So there is your derivative. Number 5, again, there's a 1 out front. So when we multiply 1/2 times 1, we get 1/2 x. Now, if I want to subtract 1 from 1/2, I need a common denominator. So make it a 2 and make it 2 over 2. This right here is equal to 1, so I'm just subtracting off 1, and that gives me, remember, you keep your common denominator and you only subtract the numerators. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So the derivative of x to the 1/2 is 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. All right, the second term, this is 2x to the first. So the power rule, the exponent 1 times the coefficient of 2 gives me plus 2x. 1 minus 1 gives me a 0 right here, 2x to the 0. And we know anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. So we get 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 plus 2. And then the derivative of 13 on the end is just plus 0. So there's our derivative. Okay, number 6, we're going to find the antiderivative. We're given the derivative, that's f prime of x, and we want to go backwards and find the derivative. So sometimes it helps us to write, I'm just going to go down here and write the derivative. The derivative is 5x to the fourth, and I want to go backwards and I want to find the original function. Okay, so we're undoing the power rule. So instead of subtracting 1 from the exponent, we're going to add 1. So that's our first step. We are going to have something x to the 5th. Now we have to figure out what this is. So we just ask ourselves, 5 times what will give me 5? Sometimes it helps to kind of write it out. 5 times what will give me 5? All right, and then you can just go backwards. 5 divided by 5 gives me a 1 right there. So my antiderivative is 1x to the 5th. And if you use the power rule, it checks out. 5 times 1 gives me 5. 5 minus 1 gives me 4. All right, now on the end of every antiderivative, we put plus c. C represents a constant because the derivative of a constant of any number is 0. So I could put any number here and this function would still have this derivative. So this is what we call, right here, an antiderivative with plus c on the end is called a general antiderivative. Okay? Now, you're given a point right here. This point tells you that when you put in 2 for x, out comes 23. That allows us to find c. We plug this in to find c. Find c. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. For y, f of x, I'm going to plug in 23. So 23 is equal to 1x to the 5th plus c. But instead of x, I'm going to put in 2. All right, now I just solve for c. 23 is equal to 2 to the 5th is 32. So that gives me 32 plus c. Now I just subtract off 32 from both sides. All right, so my c value is equal to -9. All right, so there is my specific antiderivative that goes through that point, and I'm just going to write that down. All right, my specific antiderivative is x to the 5th minus 9. I put my c in right there, and this is a specific antiderivative that goes through that specific point, 223. All right, let's try it again. We're given the derivative function of 0.12x squared. We want to go backwards and find the derivative function. So the first thing we do is we add 1 to the exponent. So 2 plus 1 gives me 3. All right, now I have to ask myself, 3 times what will give me 0.12? So just kind of write it out there. 3 times what will give me 0.12? And then you can go backwards. 0.12 divided by 3. 0.12 divided by 3 equals 0.04. So my coefficient has to be 0.04. Now let's check it out. Does it work? Use the power rule to check. 3 times 0.04 gives me 0.12. 3 minus 1 gives me 2. So it checks out. Now on the end of every antiderivative, we put plus c. There is my general antiderivative. Now to get my specific, I plug in my point. Okay, so my point right here tells me that when I plug in 1 for x, out comes 500. So I plug 500 in right here, and I plug in 1 right here. It looks like this. 500 is equal to 0.04, 1 to the 3rd plus c. Now we just solve for c. 500 is equal to 0.04 plus c, because we know 1 to the 3rd is 1, and now we just subtract off 0.04. So that's going to be a funny looking c. So c is equal to 499.96. There's our c. So our specific antiderivative would be 0.04 x to the third plus 499.96. Okay, the last problem. Our derivative function is given to us. It is x to the third. We want to go backwards and find the original function. So to undo the power rule, we add 1 to the exponent. 3 plus 1 gives me 4. That is the first step. Now we have to ask ourselves, 4 times what will give me this 1 out front? There's a 1 out front. All right, so again, 4 times what will give me the 1? It helps to write out in a little equation. 4 times what will give me 1? Now we can go backwards. 1 divided by 4, and I like to sometimes even write that out. 1 divided by 4 gives me 1/4. So my coefficient right here has to be 1 divided by 4. Okay, now quick check. Use the power rule to check your work. 4 times 1/4 gives me 1. 4 minus 1 gives me 3. All right, on the end of every antiderivative, we put plus c. There is our general antiderivative. Now we plug in the point to find c. Here is our point. When we plug in 5 for x, out comes 2, our y value. So our 2 goes right here, and our 5 goes right here. It looks like this. 2 is equal to 1/4 times 5 to the 4th plus c. All right, now we just go to work. 2 is equal to, the 1/4 comes down, 5 to the 4th is 625 plus c. The 2 comes down. When we take 1/4 times 625, we get a fun decimal, 156.25 plus c. Now we just subtract that from both sides to get c by itself. Minus 156.25 minus 156.25. All right, so c is all by itself over here, and my c value is negative 154.25. All right, so let's recap. F of x is equal to 1/4 x to the 4th plus c. That is my general antiderivative. Alrighty, and then when I plug in my specific c value, f of x is equal to 1/4 x to the 4th minus 154.25. That is my specific antiderivative. All right, calculus. Hope that makes sense to you. Catch you later.